Well, first they were clucking. Now you might say that neighbours are having a cow over what landowners in Saanich want to install next door. You may recall that council first rejected their plans for a residential development because the property is in the agricultural land reserve, although is surrounded by homes. So after that, the family said they had no choice but to move ahead with a poultry operation. That too has been turned down. So what's next? CTV's Andrew Johnson has the story.
Years ago, it was a borderline farm.
Now, Don Alberg says his family's rocky Mount Douglas Crossroad property can't be used for much at all, despite what Saanich says.
I don't know where they get their farming information from. This is sort of the main chicken house.
Alberg and his two siblings grew up here, and many decades later they're trying to build a subdivision the family can be proud of. But as part of the agricultural land reserve, years ago the lots next door were developed, but now the municipality wants to preserve what it has left.
My thinking, at least in rejecting that proposal, was that it sacrificed too much of the ecological benefit and the agricultural potential of the lot.
The family was stunned. The development that preserved the majority of the garry oaks was turned down, so it proposed a 12,000 bird poultry operation. That didn't fly, didn't even make it past the planning department. The Albergs say they've spent 5 years trying to please the municipality, ever since their mom died who lived on the property, and they say along the way they've now spent more than $100,000. Now the family is considering a feedlot, 100 head of cattle. Meters from homeowners like ELAINE MOSER, who says if cows or chickens move in across the street, she's moving out.
If I can't sell my house, I'll probably rent it out to some university students and go rent something somewhere else in town. They should be allowed to take it out of the ALR and develop it. And if in fact the poultry farm or the feedlot goes in, all our land values will decrease, and there's going to be an uproar.
Councillor Murdock is hoping none of that will ever happen and hints he would consider a scaled-back housing development.
I think that something a little smaller would be more appropriate.
Don Alberg just wants to get started on something.
5 years of time for old people and I'm the kid, is quite a while. It's an important part of your life.
The family's next move is publishing an open letter to neighbours and a council appearance next month. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Saanich.